Hello and welcome back to Starfish Point. My name's Nedman, I'm the founder of Nedman Industries, and this is Starfish Point. It's a map that I've created where I have an unlimited budget just to build the city that I want to build. This is episode 11. In the past few episodes we've built the below districts, apartment areas and various other things, and it's all coming together rather quite nicely. We'll just take a cinematic of what we've built so far, so see what you can spot and see what you think is different. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I recommend you going back and watching, just so that you can see all of the different techniques and details that we've done to manage to create this nice looking town, city sort of area. The sunken highway down here, this really huge intersection, is quite the monstrosity. You either love it or you hate it. I don't know which one I am at the moment, but we're coming through here and we can start to begin to see what we worked on in the last episode, episode 10, which is on the left side of the screen. We built this elementary school complex, which is quite a large one. It looks quite nice. It's kind of relatively detailed with a few car parks, fences, hedges, a sports field area and some building extensions. Then we got some commercial and some offices just along the main avenue, taking you through the city, as well as a few smaller little homes alongside the back of there. And as we move along a little bit more, you'll see that we've got park maintenance depot, one sort of taller high-rise-ish sort of flats, and then the sports arena over there, looking fantastic. This is the town itself as a whole as we know it at the moment, looking quite nice, relatively unique. We've got this area down here which looks nice, a few more taller buildings down there, with a few entrances, the highway obviously splitting the city down the middle, and then some various other things going along down here. So yeah, it's looking quite cool, it's quite nice. We just need to figure out what we need to do next. So we've obviously got plenty of area down here. We've got this beach which looks fantastic. We've got this sort of area here as well, amongst this section there. My thoughts are, what I could... Whoa, it's difficult, it's so difficult. There's so many things that I want to do. I want this portion here to be a sports park area, which links in with the beach. Maybe a few flats looking over that, and then we can start working on the actual beach itself over here. Part of me wants it to be like a dual sports park, so sports over here with a bridge and a river in the middle. I think that would look really, really cool. Whether or not we can pull that off, we will have to figure that out. But yeah, what I also would like to do is set up at least a train line. Potentially have a smaller train station here, bring the train line round, a larger train station around here somewhere. Maybe if we draw that road out and put it here. Have the train line going across the river through the sports park. Stop here in this section, and then it will connect up. We can put a connection outside of there and then up to here. So yes, various things to do. I might start off with the train line. I think that's probably what we're going to do. So what I would like to do is have this train line somewhere around here, and we just need to decide on a train station. So train station wise, we've got a few various different train stations. Let's have a look. We've got a local train station, which to be fair is still quite large. We've got a central train station. And then we got the Mediterranean, which doesn't really fit the theme. If we take a look at these ones as well, we've got this smaller one, which is an EE train station, which kind of is a better size for us, for a local route at least. It looks like it's a better sort of size. That one doesn't really fit the theme, neither does this one, and neither does this one. If we just go and select all of them, you'll see it's a bit of a cluster, but we've got a normal train station. There are just various different ones, which I'm not really sure which one we want. So we're going to have a little think. The train station that I'm going to go for this section is going to be this. I want to say it's the Iranian one, yes. So what we're going to do is going to find a nice little spot to put this. Potentially, I think what we want to do is Oh, decisions. This is going to be quite tough, really. It could fit here, but then we do lose a bit of that potential of bringing out that roundabout. It could fit. It could fit. So what I might do is, I'll bring out a smaller section of road. What I'm going to do is I want basically a straight road that goes across here, and I want that connected in to here. I appreciate this is probably not the most traffic efficient layout, however it is the layout that we're going to just experiment with and see what we can kind of get out of it. So that's there. Can we fill the front of this with parking? I think we probably will be able to. So if we do that and we do that, that, I mean, technically speaking, it does fill out with a bit of parking, like so. Just goes a bit skew-if, like that. A couple of random trees here causing a few problems. Let's just have a look at the station. Is that large enough? I think it probably is. Oh, it's just one out, isn't it? So let's just put that in there. Just drag that across ever so slightly. And just pop that in there. Good. What I might actually do is switch these out. Oh, you know what? Do we even need that to be parking, or do we want that to be something that looks a little bit nicer? Because that would look quite cool. Because that's still technically parking, right? It looks a little bit nicer, and that means the parking's off the main road. So we donk that in there, just like that. And then if we pull that surface out, just so that it links up to the road. Perfect. And then the same with this. That's already linked up. Okay, good. What we're trying to do is just design our own park, because all of the parks we place down, these surfaces go a little bit weird. So they're not really doing what we want them to do. So we're just going to try and design our own and see how we get on. Just using a few different types of surfaces. I think that looks a bit rubbish. What about this colour? I mean, that also looks very rubbish. Interesting. I need to try and find a surface that looks quite good. Maybe just ooh, decisions. So much to choose from. Maybe just. Ooh, that one will be. Maybe that could work. So let's try that. Wrong. So we're just putting down some hedges alongside our pathways, and then we're going to fill that in with some nice green grass in all of these kind of sections that we've got going on here. We'll fill in all of these gaps just like that. Why does it keep doing that? And then I say, why does it keep doing it, like it's not me that's doing it by accident. But if we fill in all of these gaps, just like this, we should start to have some sort of a nicer entrance to our train station. I appreciate this is only a small train station, but it's just nice to have the details. Just makes it look a little bit nicer. Good, that looks much nicer than it was before. And now let's try and just put a couple of trees in here. Maybe just one in that one, like that. I didn't like the look of that one. That can go back to where it was. That can go there. Two in here. Just pop one in there. We would like a few hedges, would be nice. Not hedges, kind of like little smaller sized bushes. Maybe a cultivated bush. and we want to draw that in a nice line just down here. Good, like that. Maybe a little bit closer together, and a little bit closer together still. Just like that on the outside, and then we'll just add again just a couple of trees along this section here as well. And then we have a nicer looking train station. Good, I'm happy with that. What we're going to do is, with this line, we're just going to draw a connection between here, running alongside there. I'm going to try and just draw it in to the back of this section. So we're going to grab you like that. I'm going to pick the end. We're going to see how we get on. It might be the case that it's probably easier for us to start from here. Just draw it across nice and easily like this. And see if we can just loop that in to here. Ooh, come on. Don't want it at a weird angle, that's the thing. It's a train line. Trains are not known for their for their cornering. That corner is a bit skew-if. How's the rest of it? The rest of it seems okay, so it's just this connection here. So let's just connect those back up. Just to there. And that should have some sort of a train connection there, which, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It does the job. Nothing too crazy. We're obviously going to work on this a bit more at some point. And then we need to bring that train line across this highway here. So let's just grab it and see how we get on. We'll put it straight for now. And if we were to just drag it, how would that work? That's at a straight angle. I think that's just going to be a little bit too awkward for us. So we're going to reduce the incline. We're just going to see if we can increase our elevation just a little bit to about here. And let's see how that gets on at that height. Is that a right angle? That's 180. What do we look like? I mean, it does the job technically speaking, but we're not happy. We're not happy, never satisfy for less. So we're doing the old terrain technique and seeing if we can potentially get this to look a little bit better by smoothing it out. It's possible, not guaranteed success, but it might look a little bit better than just the funky looking bridge that we had. So let's have a look. We'll see what that looks like once we draw that across from here then. So we'll keep that as 0. We'll just draw that up to the appropriate height, which is going to be about here. And we want to bring that across onto the other appropriate height, which is going to be here. And we want that to curve down and round, essentially. Which, for the time being, that'll do. Let's have a little look. Depends how tall everybody is in this city, really. I'd like to think they could probably fit through there. But we don't know until we know, do we? I'm I think that's fine, to be honest with you. I don't know if we can change up that bridge at all to make it look a little bit cooler. Definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. And definitely not. No, so we can't. There are a few other options, but I don't think they're going to fit. That it's just too low, isn't it? It just looks way too low that people are just going to walk over it and just hit their head. We'll leave it for now, and we'll figure it out at a later date. We'll look at trying to sort that out properly at a later date, because we need to try and establish our first train line first. So if we just smoothen that out, I mean, it's a lot smoother. Is it just worth us? It's just not that high, is it? No, we're going to do it now. There we go. That's much more clearance for that bridge now, which is good. Let's just smoothen out that terrain a little bit, soften it up so it doesn't look too out of place. Just by doing that with the brush. And then the same over on this side as well, just like that, to make it fit in a little bit more. There we go. We should have ourselves a train bridge that's going across the highway now. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. What we want to do now is establish another location for another train station, which is probably going to be down here. To be honest, we might actually have it all the way down here and then just cook it across there. I think that's probably our best bet. So let's find a different type of train station that we want. Right, so our train line is going a bit crazy, so we've bolded it in a bit just to add some more of an effect. Bolded up the side of the incline as well here, that brings it up and across here. We'll fill in these gaps with some parks or something similar, kind of like pathways like that. But it's coming along a little bit, and we might just start detailing this bit here just to get it all sorted and squared away, and then go from there. So what I might do is just bring in a few more pathway entrances, so just down here, just connect it up to the road in various spots. We don't need any zebra crossings there. I might see if we can potentially pop something down here. What's that, 4x4? Is there anything? That's 3x4. We don't really want that to be there though, do we? Trying to think what would actually make sense to go here. Maybe just a dog exercise park or something. When I say makes sense to go here, that definitely doesn't, but it is what it is. And then if we just close off some of this in there, and then same with this section here, just tree around the roundabout, just to make it a nice sort of theme. And that closes off that section there just a little bit more, just to kind of blend it in ever so slightly. That'll obviously go down here. The problem we have is, do we want to use this to draw out for the main road across, or are we going to pull it out from somewhere else? Like, we could, like, just thinking about it, we could have this underground, right? Just for this portion, but the problem that we have is that the distance is not very good. So at this height, it's not quite underground. At this height, it also doesn't look like it's underground either. So it's a bit annoying. So we need to kind of figure out what we want to do about that. Okay, for this road, we're going to have to go with this very short tunnel that just branches from the station underneath. To be fair, we might actually just move this station over slightly, because that is just, the decline is just a little bit too close. So what we'll do is we'll just bring that. Oh, it's going to make it a bit skewiff though, isn't it? Oh dear. It's all going a bit wrong. Bring that across there. See if we can connect that up smoothly. Which we can. Then that just gives it a little bit more room. Just a slight bit more room. just to be able to do its own thing. So that has this connected up to here, branching round, coming out onto the main strip, going under the tunnel, and landing into this train station here. Good, right. I would like to do something about this very briefly, so just think about that, and then just bring out some pathways across here. If we connect that up properly, that should actually work. Let's try that again. So if we grab this pathway and literally put it all the way through, that still goes a bit weird. Annoying, annoying, annoying! We can do it! Now we want this rail to cross here because we're going to have maybe more of like a central downtown area here. So I'm just drawing this bit of rail out just for the time being, just so that we have an idea of where it's going to go. Now there's a lot of random trees knocking about in this section, which are interfering with the line. I don't know whether we can potentially change this to a more unique looking bridge. I think that expands it quite a bit though, doesn't it? We don't really want it to be too crazy. That's 4-track, that's loads. That's too small. I don't think we can really upgrade that bridge at all, to be honest. What's that? Don't really do much for me, to be honest. No problem at all. But yeah, we've got an idea of where that's going to go now, which is fine by me. Good. Now, because we've got trains, we need a depot to actually run the trains out of. I'm trying to think of somewhere to place it, which probably will be around here somewhere, because we've got the train line here. And then we can just build a temporary one just along this section here. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to grab a small bit of road, just like that, nothing important. And we're just going to... Ooh, I want you facing that way. Let's try something else. Let's try building a road adjacent to our train tracks, just like that. And that can then live there, and we can draw that nice and simply. Oh, we'll use this empty portion there. Yes, we'll do that. We'll draw our road through that section and then just link it in like that, and then put that together just like that. Now we need to, I think we need to draw that out a little bit longer, otherwise it's not going to count. Good, and then the train line itself needs to be connected up using this. Come on, get in there, boy. Good. And now it just needs power and water, which we can sort out pretty easily, I hope. Okay, the trains are powered and watered now. Well, that looks a bit weird, but we are going. This is just temporary, just so that we have some trains running out of here. We're gonna make a proper sort of area for it at some point, but just for the time being, to give us some trains, we have got those. Perfect. Last thing is we're just gonna create our first train line, which is just going to consist of a very simple train route that connects up to this outside world, which is then going to come back in on the same line. What are you doing then? That's going to use that one. Interesting. That's going to come out in there, and then it's going to come out and drop into here. Is that a complete route? Did it do it or did it not? Okay, now that's a complete route. Awesome. We'll just change the colour, dim it down a bit, because we don't want weird looking trains. Or not. No, well, looks like we're just going to leave it as it is. And then let's just see if the train actually works. So I'm not entirely convinced. Let's watch you and see how you get on. That is so ugly. Why is it doing all of them? Oh dear. I mean, it's moving. I mean, technically speaking, the trains are working, but they're very, very ugly. And it's not even because I've changed the colour. I think just generally, they're very ugly. I don't like the look of them at all. I just want them to not be weird. Just be like a dull, boring colour like that. That'd be great. Just something dull and boring, just like that. So that should start servicing the people that are going here and there and everywhere. Mainly just the outside world. And we'll see if there's any train collisions, because there could be. That's going to come back here and get stuck immediately, because it's waiting for the crossover point. Yeah, I mean, it works for now. It'll do. It will do. We do have some functioning trains. It just looks a little bit ugly, not gonna lie. It looks very, very ugly. Which is what it is. We've got plans for this area. This is going to be like a sports park arena. So let's just try and see what we can do about, let's start off over here and see what we can do about this. I'm just going to slow it down and think about how we're going to make this look a little bit less weird. So I'm just working on placing a few items just to decorate this portion that we created here. So I've just keyed off, so basically just to put a barrier between the rocks and there, and then we've just added a few homes on that corner, just kind of row housing, just to kind of fill it out a bit, give it a little bit of a purpose, make it a bit spacious, because we've still got the pathway that runs alongside, pathways connect in between, and that just gives it a little bit more of a look. We might just do a few more along that section here. So all I do essentially is I pick buildings, and then I make sure that I pick level 5, and then I want 3 depth, because these are about 3 depth, and I select row housing, and then you can find all of these various buildings that will kind of work well for you. So for example, these ones, you could put quite a few in there. I think I just double stacked, but for example, all of these ones, you can just fit them all in there, all at once, which look kind of cool. I'm not sure if we need all of that long, but I mean, it does the job. We might lose the end one, so that we can bring our pathway just alongside the railway track somehow, just like this, and then we can kind of keep that running all the way through, just like that. That looks good enough to me. And then we can pull that all the way down. There we go. It does eat into a little bit of space, but nevertheless it grants us that kind of barrier between the railway track and the buildings that we have, because nobody wants to live right next to railway tracks. That's just a given. And then, just like I was doing with everything else, we just grab some of these trees and just add a small buffer zone between them, just like that. Nothing too crazy, just a buffer between the tracks and there. Fill in the green space, just like so, and then it just looks a little bit better. with a few houses like that. I think that looks a lot better than it did. I'm not sure about these this road parking though, not gonna lie. The road parking is a bit grim. And there we have it, our first train line, first train station. So this is the train station that's closest to the neighbourhoods itself. As you can see, as you know if you've been watching the episode, we go over this bridge over the highway. A couple of boulders around it just to add some sort of effect. And as we cross over, it's essentially long rows of houses all the way down to the other station, which I think it looks alright. It adds some sort of effect. I think it looks okay. I don't see any major issues with it. Obviously, at the minute it's not quite finished, so we've got all of this ground and all the ground behind it to use, but for the time being, for something that's backed onto the train line, I think it covers it quite well. I think it makes the train track stand out a little bit less because we've got these buildings that are looking over it. Obviously we've got this train station down here as well, which branches across the river, which we'll work on. But I think it looks pretty decent, to be fair. It's a good start. It's a good start is what I'd call it, a good start. I think the city is coming together quite nicely. We've still obviously got all these footpaths everywhere, which there are people using them, which is awesome. We love to see that. Look at all these lovely people crossing that bridge. Yes, sir. Looking fabulous. And I think they're actually using the path behind here, which you can't really see because it's so covered in trees. But it's looking decent enough. I'm happy with how it's worked out. Even from this angle, it looks kind of cool. Yeah, so pretty cool. Our first train line is set up. I don't think anybody's actually using it because we haven't kind of sorted out the proper infrastructure yet. See, not many people at all, but is what it is. No problem. We'll work on that at a later date. But just, oh my god, fire! Fire! Why is there so much fire? Where's the fire brigade? Oh my goodness, hello? Wake up! What are you doing? What are you doing? We need one of those, don't we? Where are all the fire brigade? They need to get a wriggle on, otherwise that might burn down. We don't want that. So the fire service have decided to turn up at some point. They've woken up out of bed and they're now putting out the fires, which is good. But that was a bit chaotic just then. That could have ended in disaster, assuming they're only down the road. They need to work on that. They need to work on that. I don't know why there's so much crime either, because we've got a police station here, a police station there, and a police station up there, but whatever. Nevertheless, I think we're doing okay. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.